Hey guys! So I've been making videos on dividing fractions, adding fractions, and subtracting fractions. So today I'm going to make one final video about fractions, and that is going to be how to correctly simplify fractions. So I've noticed that sometimes when students give me an answer, it's not always simplified. So today I'm going to show you a couple examples of how to simplify fractions. My first example that I'm going to simplify is 6/12. So the first step, the first thing I want you to think about is GCF. What is the greatest common factor between 6 and 12? So when I say a factor, for a review for you, what I'm saying is factors of 6 is any number that 6 is divisible by and it's even. So 6 is divisible by 3 because it gives me a nice even 2, no decimal points, nothing repeating. 6 is not divisible by 4. I can't think of anything times 4 that'll get me 6. Plus, if you put that in the calculator, you end up with decimal points. So 4 would not be a factor of 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a list of the factors of 6 and then a list of the factors of 12. I know that the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, 6. 6 is divisible by all of these numbers. The factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. I know that 12 is divisible by all of these numbers. So remember, it's the greatest common factor. Notice they have 1 in common, but they also have 3 in common, and that's greater than 1. But if I keep going further, they also have 6 in common, and that is the greatest number they have in common. So here's what we're going to do with that information. Since 6 is their greatest common factor, I'm going to divide 6 by 6 and 12 by 6. Remember, this is a list of everything that they're divisible by, so I know that I can do this for both of them. Whatever we do to the top, we do to the bottom when working with changing a fraction. 6 divided by 6 gives me 1. 12 divided by 6 gives me 2. 6/12 is the same thing as saying 1/2. Okay, I've got a second example for you. Sometimes this happens. You've done all of your calculations and you've ended up with an improper fraction. The first thing you can check for is what we did in the previous example, and you can see if you can reduce this down, make it any smaller. But as I look at this, I know that 11 and 18, they don't have a greatest common factor like the previous problem did. So I don't have to reduce it, but to fully simplify my answer, I can take this improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number. That would be the most simple form of your answer. So here's my thinking when I know I need to create a mixed number. I ask myself, okay, well, how many times does 8, my denominator, go into 11, my numerator? 1 time. So I'm going to write, it goes in there 1 time. Now, if it goes in there once, how many is left over? Well, I know that if 8 went in there once, there would only be 3 left over. So 11 minus 8, I would only have 3 left over. And then I keep that same denominator of 8. And that is my thought process on how to take an improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number. Now, what if it was a number such as, let's change it to 17. So now what's going to happen is when I ask myself, how many times does 8 go into 17? It goes in twice. So now I have a big 2. But how many is left over? I can't just take 17 minus 8. That's not true. So what I need to do is, okay, I said it goes in there twice. So how much am I really going to take away from 17? Well, 8 twice is 16. So I'm going to do 17, take away that 16 from the 8 going in there twice, and I'm left with 1 left over and keeping that same denominator of 8. Okay, so that is the thinking process. Those are questions that you can ask yourself when you're taking an improper fraction and turning it into a mixed number. I hope those two examples of simplifying fractions were really useful for you and that they made a lot of sense, because in the math world, so many times we are asked to write our answer in simplest form. So now, hopefully, you've got the tools, you've got the skills, and now you can go show the world that you know how to simplify fractions. See ya.